what a year it's been. A little bit self-absorbed, me just talking about my year. But you know, this year's been a bit of a disaster. It's been a wild ride, totaling over 3,000 kilometers of running. In this video, I want to reflect on my year, the lessons I learned, the mistakes I made, so you don't need to in the same way that I did. Now if I look back at my year, I started it off trying to run 1,000 miles in 10 weeks. Over the last 70 days, I've run over 1,000 miles. So that's over 1,600 kilometers since Christmas Day. And my God, what an experience it's been. And over the course of the year, I ran 400 kilometer races, attempted for my third time to run 100 miles.
But yeah, it's time to drop out. Yeah, I don't think it's a smart idea to carry on. No, it's just too painful.
The key word being attempted. I spent half the year recovering from an injury, and that was the toughest challenge of them all.
I need to figure out exactly what the issue is, but my plan going forwards is to basically just reset.
So yeah, it's been a difficult year, and I've learned many a lesson the hard way. And as I run through these, I'm sure many of you will also learn that you're not alone. Because if you're anything like me, you learn by failing, not by succeeding. So yeah, let's jump in. So when I was young and stupid, but I'm still young and I'm still stupid, I basically didn't stretch. I thought I was invincible. I had faith that my body would just keep on going, no matter how much I knackered it. But over the years, as I've been running further and further, my muscles have been getting tighter and tighter, less elastic and less flexible. And this has had the unfortunate side effect of pulling on my tendons.
When you're pushing yourself to the limit, not all challenges go to plan or even succeed. Some days are just crap. This was one of those days.
Not just pulling, but tearing, leaving me injured and also very unable to touch my toes. As I look back on all my injuries over the last 5 years, they've all been caused by the same issue. My muscles have been too tight, pulling on things which don't like to be pulled and leave me frustrated and in pain. All preventable if I just stretched a little bit. That's a pretty easy lesson, just stretch. Now I stretch every day, simple. I can start to feel my body loosen and my stride become more powerful. Plus, I can now touch my toes. As you run further and further distances, you start to experience the troughs and the peaks that your mind goes through. Sometimes you feel great, other times you just feel terrible and you just want to quit. It may even be in the same kilometre. When you're 3/4 of the way into your race, it's dark it's cold, and your feet and your muscles are screaming for you to stop. There is one consistent way that I found to push yourself forwards. Find someone to run with. You don't need to even talk to them, but as long as you're running with them, you're suffering together. You start to form a connection. You start to build up this magical force called camaraderie. An invincible rope will form between you and them. When they're feeling strong, they'll pull you forwards. When you're feeling strong, to pull them forwards. It's no longer a competition, it's mutual survival. But running with somebody can be such a powerful tool to get you to the finish line on those longer races. You never know. It might end up being somebody you run for the rest of your life with. So lesson 3. Yeah, this one was learned the hard way. So there have been multiple races over the last year that have just slaughtered me. Races that I was just overly confident for. But no matter how many races you've done, each one is unique. And to be honest, they never get easy. Take the Boston Marathon. It's a pretty short distance for me, but it didn't take long for it to become one of the hardest races of my life. A combination of the wrong consumption, the heat, and just, it wasn't my day. It meant that I could barely get myself at the finish line. Crazy when a few months earlier, I was able to run an average of 21 kilometers for over 70 days in a row. But anyway. And then there was Kosciuszko. Now, while I was comfortable in the distance,
Yes, this is pretty miserable.
the weather and the terrain made it an absolute struggle. A race where it rains for 12 hours, it's a whole different race entirely. And you never know what surprise there might be on race day. So respect every race you enter and every distance. Otherwise, like me, you'll be humbled very quickly. So like I said at the beginning, I've basically been injured for half a year. And trust me when I say being injured absolutely sucks. Not being able to do what you love and what you depend on for stability can be so painful. But it might be strange for you to hear me say that I don't regret being injured. For me, it was an opportunity for personal growth. As cliche as that sounds. But really, I'm a stronger runner now than I was before. I know more about what I need to do to keep me running and to keep me fit and healthy. Sometimes it's not just the pursuit of running that matters, but all the other activities which you need to do, such as strength, rest, stretching, and even patience, that are equally important to get you onto the race line and to keep you running for as long as possible, both in one race and then across your life. So yeah, injury does suck, but as you learn the lessons that need to be learned, you'll be a stronger runner on the other side. And if you are injured at the moment, I have one thing to say: don't lose hope, keep patient, and good luck. And there we go, that's my 4 key lessons from the year. Like I said at the beginning, if you haven't learned these lessons yet, this is the time. Learn from me. And all I've got to do is wish you good luck for the upcoming year and all your races. I hope the training goes well. And if you haven't signed up to a race or haven't found the challenge, click off this video and find one now. And with that, cheers, thank you for watching, and see you soon.